Today we are taking you to another circuit within the Ruta del Desierto, or the desert route, el Circuito de las Quebradas, or the Circuit of the Creeks. Almost upon making the turn into this circuit from Putre, the landscape began to change once more. The deep reds blended into pale whites, creating strong contrasts that felt again like being in Mars and the Moon. For long stretches, we couldn't see much of anything at all, other than the grandiose mountains that are part of the Atacama Desert. As we were driving, we had to look up the actual definition of desert. For us, a desert implied arid terrains, sand, and heat, like the Sahara Desert. Yet, this place was not hot. In fact, it was cold. A desert is defined by how little rain it receives, not its temperature. The Atacama Desert is the driest desert on Earth. It averages about 1 to 25 millimeters of rain a year. That is 0.04 to 1 inch of rain a year. And in some areas, measurable rainfall may not occur for decades. It is often cold, especially at high altitudes. Circuito de las Quebradas is not one of these areas, as the word quebrada, creek, implies. It receives about 15 to 25 millimeters of rain a year, so between 0.6 and an inch. However, the water that is seen in the creeks is not from the rainfall. Most of the water comes from snowmelt and hidden springs. The combination creates small pockets of greenery that adds one additional color to its beautiful desert. The water and vegetation increase the number of animals that can be seen along the road. You can see an enormous number of llamas, alpacas, and vicuñas in this area, more than in Lauca-Tungaran circuit. Seeing the llamas and alpacas gazing on the greenery right next to the water creeks simply added to the scenery. A curious observation: alpacas and llamas can often be seen together, grazing in small groups, calm and social. But vicuñas, their wild relatives, are always alone. Despite being family, they don't seem to get along. That is because vicuñas, unlike llamas and alpacas, are always wild, highly territorial, and live in small family groups. Llamas and alpacas, on the other hand, live in larger and more flexible herds. Within the Circuito de las Quebradas, the Reserva Nacional de las Vicuñas, or the Vicuña National Reserve, is located. It is a protected area covering nearly 190,000 hectares of high-altitude plateau between 11,500 and 14,800 feet above sea level. It was established to protect wild vicuñas and other native wildlife like the relatives that do not socialize with them, even in the reserve. Rising above the reserve stood Volcán Guayatiri, one of the most prominent volcanoes in northern Chile. Guayatiri reaches approximately 19,900 feet above sea level, making it one of the tallest active volcanoes in the region. For decades, it has released fumaroles visible as soft, white plumes of steam drifting from its summit. Rather than erupting violently, Guayatiri breathes slowly, as a constant reminder that the Andes, no matter how dry and arid, remains alive beneath the surface. As we continue driving, we pass through several small high-altitude villages, one of them Guayatire, where you can see the Guayatari volcano. At first glance, these places appear abandoned, their streets quiet and not a person in sight. The church closed even on a Sunday when we were there. But they are not ghost towns. Life apparently continues here at a slower rhythm that is invisible to the eye. We can only imagine that these communities have adapted to this extreme environment for generations and clearly have a very different way of life than the one we know. Another benefit of traveling is seeing different walks of life, even when you don't get to see anyone walking in the town. All of a sudden, a drastic change in scenery. The Martian and Moonish mountains added a little bit of green to them. Not the same greenery by the creeks with the llamas and the alpacas, but instead pastel-like greens that blended into their bodies. We wondered what planet could be associated with green other than the obvious Earth. It turns out that Venus sometimes is depicted in art with yellowish green haze. Since the green was like a yellowish-green haze, we concluded our journey had briefly taken us on a detour to Venus. Eventually, the road led us to one of the most surprising landscapes of the journey, the Salar de Surire. As you are driving, enjoying the reddish terrain, suddenly a long stretch of white appears before your eyes. Salar de Surire covers roughly 50,000 hectares and sits at an elevation of about 14,100 feet. The salar unfolds as a vast white expanse interrupted by wetlands, lagoons, and geothermal features that support life in an otherwise extreme environment. Llamas and vicuñas can be seen walking along the salar, not together, of course. And the pink flamingos can be seen enjoying the natural hot springs. Heated by the geothermal activity beneath the surface, these mineral-rich waters emerge at temperatures ranging from 30 to 40 degrees Celsius or 86 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The pools glow a deep emerald green due to the algae and dissolved minerals, sending gentle steam into the cold desert air. We discovered where the hot water was emerging from and went to the other, cooler side to enjoy in solitude a hot, natural bath surrounded by the salt flats, barren mountains, and the flamingos, which remain on the hotter side of the hot spring. As we were bathing in nature and appreciating the mountains surrounding us, we concluded that an ancient artist must have been present during their creation. If you look closely, one of the mountains appears to have the face of a Japanese geisha and a Buddha laying down. Or maybe the hot water and the concentration of minerals in the hot springs are to blame. Not long after, the desert offered another gift. High above us, an Indian condor soared effortlessly across the sky. With a wingspan that can exceed nearly 10 feet, the condor is one of the largest flying birds in the world. The combination of its mostly black body with white wingtips, its reddish head, with a distinctive white or cream-colored neck makes the condor even more majestic against the clear blue skies. In Indian cultures, it is considered sacred, believed to connect the earth with the heavens. As we left the salar behind, the road carried us onward, and once again, the mountains began to change. That's when we entered the Isluga National Reserve, still within the Circuito de las Quebradas. Volcan Isluga rises to 18,200 feet above sea level. It is an active volcano with occasional steam and gas emissions. Its slopes layered in reds, browns, yellows, and greens, as if someone had brushed it with pastels. From a distance, it looks like a single painting, but as you study it, you notice smaller drawings hidden within the larger picture. The natural patterns, mineral streaks, and layers that reveal themselves only to those who look closely and have an imagination. It is as if the mountain itself holds a secret gallery waiting to be discovered. As we kept driving, the landscape opened even further. At around Colchane, we realized just how close we were to Bolivia. In the distance, massive mountains rose along the horizon on the other side of the border. These peaks belong to the Cordillera Occidental, the western range of the Andes that forms that natural boundary between Chile and Bolivia. Many of these mountains rise above 18,000 feet to over 19,600 feet, forming an uninterrupted wall of volcanoes and ancient peaks. The land was so open that it became difficult to tell where the road ended and the desert began. At times, it felt like we were simply driving across in La La Land. We hope you have enjoyed the journey through one of the most remote and desolate places we have encountered, the Atacama Desert. When we first entered the Circuito de las Quebradas, the landscape was vast, desolate, and silent. But the Atacama Desert reveals itself slowly, with grazing llamas and alpacas, solitary vicuñas, flamingos standing in streaming water, and condors soaring above in the clear blue skies. And of course, each mountain, each volcano revealed its own personality with its unique shape and colors. Even the lonely villages showed some signs of life. We now know that even the most deserted places are very much alive.